Have you ever felt frustrated when your husband or partner withdraws during a difficult conversation or an argument? It can be really difficult to understand why your man just withdraws. Well, in today's video, I'm going to talk all about that. Hi everyone, Mireille Nicole here. So in today's video, let's talk about what to do when your partner shuts down. Maybe he walks out on an argument, or maybe he's still there physically, but you can see in his face, in his body, in his expressions that he's just totally tuned out. Look, I totally get it. It can be super frustrating when this happens. But before we jump to conclusions, it's super important to understand what might be going on here. So I'm going to share with you today a few considerations and a few kind of mindset shifts when it comes to what you can do when your partner shutdowns or withdraws. And the first thing I want you to consider is silence does not mean that your partner is indifferent or doesn't care. I know that it can feel that way in the moment, and I've experienced that myself, right? When I see my man shut down or withdraw, especially back in the day, not so much now that we've done the work together, but I would right away assume the worst, right? I would assume that he just didn't care. He was just not engaged. I would be concerned about where our relationship is going. To that extent, the whole shutting down and withdrawing was super disheartening and distressing to me. But remember, your partner shutting down or withdrawing could simply be a coping mechanism. It could be like some automatic safety switch for him that goes off to protect himself in the moment. And I'm not saying that's necessarily healthy or the best approach to take, but sometimes it's important and very beneficial to give our partner the benefit of the doubt. It could be a way for him to process his emotions and his feelings in the moment. Maybe he's lacking a bit some communication skills and skills in terms of expressing how he feels or what he needs in the moment. Maybe it's too much. There's been research that has shown that during arguments, men's blood pressure and heart rate really goes high. And the difference between men and women is ours tends to go down faster actually than men's. So not to excuse men or just remove all responsibility from them, but just one thing to keep in mind is they do also have these really strong physical reactions in the moment. And sometimes shutting down is the only action that they can think of in the moment to, again, protect themselves. So in moments like these, it's really important to give your partner some time and some space to work through that. I don't know if you've read the famous book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by John Gray, but he talks about the whole concept of the man cave. And a lot of times men need their space. They need to maybe what looks like or appears to be shutting down or withdrawing just so they can process kind of the stress and the problems that you guys are working out or trying to discuss. Sometimes they just need kind of to get away and to just tackle that on their own. So allow them to collect their thoughts and find their inner balance again. So remember, silence doesn't necessarily mean that they're shutting you out. It might just mean that they need some space to really work things out in their own minds. And the best thing you can do when this happens is to really focus on your own self-care. So one thing I love to do when I feel like my man is shutting down or withdrawing, or if it's been too much, is to really turn things around and focus on my own self-care and my own emotions. It can be really difficult to wait till the man is no longer shut down and no longer withdraws. And instead of trying to go after your man and trying to get him to open up again, the best thing you can do is to do the things that really bring you to a state of calm and really help you find your inner balance again, so that then when he comes out, you're in a strong position to work things out or wrap up the conversation in whatever way needs to happen for you guys to be good again. And this can be totally useful to you if you find yourself being very anxious. And especially women, we like to deal with things by talking things out. So when our man shuts down and he just goes away, it's super stressful for us because we just want to work it out and talk through things, but he has the opposite reaction or the opposite need. So go talk to a friend about things, journal, go for a walk, just remove that energy, work through that energy somehow so that when he comes out of his cave, you're again in a good position to address the issue again. And you know what? It's been said that when you can respect that, when you can give him the space that he needs within certain boundaries, of course, of this topic for today, then you create that opportunity for him to open up even more. So the best thing you can do is to take the opportunity when he shuts down to really show your support and understanding. You can ask them gently if there's anything he wants to talk about, or if there's anything you can do to support him, or what he needs in that moment, but really allow him to process what he needs to process and take the space and the time that he needs. By being patient and compassionate, you make that space for him to want to open up to you more. And you know what? One of the things I love encouraging women to do, and I do all the time for myself, is to really take some time to think back in terms of, okay, what led to the shutting down? How did the conversation start? How did the conversation progress? Were there triggers along the way? Are there things that you can learn from that experience to avoid another situation in the future where he shuts down? Are there opportunities for improvement in your communication together? What might have caused his walls to go up, his protective mechanisms to be activated? I'm a big believer there's always an opportunity to learn from whatever we experience in our relationship. And the last thought I wanted to share is this could simply be a boundary for him. And again, maybe it's not the best expressed boundary to just shut down or withdraw, but he could be at a point where he just doesn't want to kind of tolerate the situation or the moment or kind of the energies that you guys are building up together. Maybe he has his own internal boundary that when things get to a certain point, he leaves the situation, right? And obviously we want it to be, communicated that he's going to do that. In a perfect world, he would say that's what he's doing. But again, maybe this is a situation where he lacks some of these skills to effectively communicate that, and he's just acting out his own boundary in whatever way he knows best. Again, I'm not making excuses, but the whole point of this video is for you to not necessarily jump to conclusions whenever your man shuts down or withdraws. And also to consider, take the opportunity as feedback to look at what the conversations together, especially probably on difficult topics, right, that lead to shutting down and withdrawings. What opportunity for improvement is there? And the more you work on your communication skills, the more you create, a safe space for your partner to open up to you and to show compassion and empathy, and you're able to listen without judgment, the less you will find your partner shutting down or withdrawing in general. So remember, together you can navigate these moments of silence and shutting down and grow stronger as a couple. When the silence takes over, don't let it drive you guys apart. I hope this video was helpful. That's what I wanted to share for today. If you have any questions or experiences with this, does your man tend to shut down and withdraw? What's your experience been like? Are there any tips that you can share with people watching this video today who are in a similar situation? All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.